I'm 32F, and at 16, I had a son. Yes, I know how that sounds. We weren't cautious, and I've faced judgment for that choice for years, so spare me the lectures. My boyfriend at the time, Jake, 33 million, vanished when I told him I was pregnant with his family's full support. Something about him being a future sports star. My parents were straightforward. The decision was mine. After deep reflection, I ruled out abortion. It's a valid choice for others, but not for me. And I'm not here to argue about it. Instead, I chose adoption. My parents connected me with a wonderful couple desperate to adopt. Meeting them felt right, like they were meant to be my son's parents. What started as a teenage error transformed into something like a surrogacy arrangement. I switched to homeschooling to complete my education and rest. The adoptive parents were by my side for every step, even covering most of my medical expenses. The adoptive mother, a teacher, tutored me through schoolwork and helped me prep for college. They were there when I gave birth, and I chose not to hold the baby. His true mother did, and it felt perfect. I've stayed in my son's life as a distant, special aunt. He's no longer a baby, and he knows I'm his birth mom, but his mom is the woman who raised him. Our contact is rare. Maybe a call once in a while, which works for both of us. He's got my sense of humor, which is wild. He knows I'm here if he ever needs something serious, like a kidney. He's thriving, and I have zero regrets about giving him a chance at a happy life. 6 years ago, I married Ethan, 44 million, who was amicably divorced from Clara, 40 million. They share 2 kids, a 19-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son. Ethan was upfront from the start that his kids' approval mattered and that Clara would always be part of his life, not romantically, but as their mother and a friend. I was open with both Ethan and Clara about my teenage pregnancy. My stepdaughter and I get along well, we're more like friends and she's closer to her mom, but we have occasional girls' days. My stepson, though, is super attached to me. He calls me his second mom and wants me at all his big moments. We bonded deeply after his childhood pet passed away around the same time my cat did. Clara and I were genuinely close. I respect her role as their mom and never tried to replace her. Their past is theirs and I'm just the stepmom. No competition needed. This backstory matters because trouble started when I took my stepson to a medical appointment. It was minor but required anesthesia, and neither Ethan nor Clara could get time off due to their demanding jobs. So I went alone to support him. I didn't realize Jake was one of the doctors. His name is super common and it had been ages. My focus was on my stepson, not scanning faces. After the procedure, while I was helping my groggy stepson into the car, Jake approached me. He said he'd been thinking about me and our son for years and was relieved our boy was okay. It took me a moment to process, but he kept apologizing, saying he wasn't ready to be a dad back then. Blah, blah, blah. Finally, I interrupted loudly. This isn't the child I gave birth to. I placed him for adoption. I'm a stepmom. My stepson, still loopy, mumbled, "Second mom?" And I had to stifle a laugh. Jake looked shocked, so I filled him in. I gave the baby up. My son knows the truth. I'm married to a man with 2 kids. I'm happy, and I want nothing to do with Jake. I also refuse to share any info about the adoptive family. He's 16 years too late. I drove off to get my stepson home to rest. Since then, Jake found me on social media and started posting a pity party, claiming I robbed him of fatherhood and that I'm a terrible person for abandoning my child to raise someone else's. Most of our old classmates called him out, reminding him he ditched me. Some of his high school buddies even said he bragged about leaving me pregnant, which was news to me. A few of his relatives messaged me, accusing me of stealing his chance to be a dad and calling me a bad Christian. I'm Jewish, by the way. Some friends suggested I was wrong for not informing Jake about the adoption, but I don't think I was. So I'm leaving it to the internet to decide. Was I wrong? One clarification. The adoptive parents and my biological son have contact info for Jake's family if they choose to reach out. I have no control over that, but I won't give Jake their details. Update. This is likely my only update. Many were concerned about my biological son's wishes regarding Jake. With his permission, I'm sharing this. He contacted Jake once, a few days after I told him how to reach him. I won't dive into specifics, but the outcome is that my son wants no further contact. He doesn't need a second dad, and Jake only wanted to be involved if he could be the father figure. So, they're done. My son and I will keep our aunt-nephew dynamic, and he knows I'm here for any medical needs. Blood, kidney, you name it. Curious about why Jake's so fixated on my son? I learned from his friends that he's capable of having more kids, but hasn't had a steady relationship in years. I decided to meet him for coffee to clear the air, with Ethan there for support, at my request. Ethan sat at another table to give me space. The meeting was a disaster. Jake brought flowers and my old favorite dessert, acting like it was a date. I shut that down fast, introducing Ethan and emphasizing that we're happily married, so his romantic gestures were unwelcome. Jake admitted he's had failed relationships because no woman measures up to his ideal wife and mother, apparently me. He said he regretted choosing college over me and our baby and knew about the court dates for custody and adoption, but assumed I kept the baby when he saw me with my stepson. He thought we could be a family, maybe even have more kids. He even asked if I'd consider leaving Ethan and fighting for custody of our son. I laughed, hard. Maybe it was harsh, but years of pain poured out. I called him a coward who ran away with his parents' help instead of facing responsibility. I told him I nearly lost everything, prom, senior photos, graduation, because I was pregnant, while he partied. We both made the same mistake, but only I paid the price. I may have thrown in a jab about his manhood, which was petty, but I'm not sorry. Once I calmed down, I told him I have a fulfilling life with a loving husband, amazing stepkids, a best friend in Clara who trusts me with her children, and a nephew I adore, who loves me as his aunt despite our history. My life is perfect without him, and I won't indulge his fantasies. I also warned him to leave my son alone. His choice is final, and Jake must respect it. I informed him I'd be filing a formal complaint with his hospital for his harassment. Ethan took screenshots of Jake's posts, which was smart because Jake deleted them by the time we got home. Some of Jake's old friends shared the screenshots, mocking him. The upside? I've reconnected with high school classmates who are awesome. Jake seems to be stuck in his high school glory days, unlike most of us. It's been 3 days with no word from Jake. Ethan's ego got a boost from overhearing me tear into Jake, and he's been adorably insufferable. Things are looking up, and we're thrilled about the possibility of having